the United States has recently woken up to a significant energy risk. 15 years ago, China was producing 6 times as many solar panels as the US. But what has happened since then is even more astonishing. China can now manufacture a staggering 70 times as many solar panels as the US. This immense production capacity allows China to install more than half of the world's new solar panels in a single year. What's more, a substantial portion of the solar capacity installed in the US is made abroad, often with components sourced from China. This dominance by Beijing in the solar industry is crucial because solar energy is on track to become the primary source of renewable energy by the end of this decade. The world's dependency on China for solar technology creates a vulnerability that the US is eager to address. President Biden has emphasized the connection between climate action and job creation. However, while the US has sporadically invested in solar manufacturing, China has taken a much more aggressive approach, leading the way in solar production. But why has China succeeded where others have failed? To understand this, let's first break down what a solar panel consists of. Most of its weight is attributed to aluminum and glass, but the critical material at its core is silicon. Solar panels are essentially semiconductors, similar to the chips in your smartphone, requiring a specific, highly pure type of silicon. This silicon, known as polysilicon, is a raw material for solar modules and is extracted from sand through energy-intensive processes. Here's where China's ascent begins. While the US once had its own polysilicon manufacturing, China now supplies a whopping 89% of the world's solar-grade polysilicon. This wasn't always the case. 2 decades ago, China had to import most of its polysilicon. However, it recognized an opportunity to dominate the industry and invested heavily in larger, more efficient factories. By 2008, as global capacity outstripped demand, China's lower production costs undercut established players, leading to the decline of many solar manufacturing companies, including giants like SolarWorld. China's strategy involved offering cheap financing, land, and incentives to manufacturers while ensuring strong domestic demand. The global solar boom is now in full swing, with an expected 392 gigawatts of new solar capacity installed this year. More than half of these solar panels will find their home in China. However, US manufacturers are missing out on this explosive growth. Some argue that the US doesn't need to manufacture its own panels since China's low costs make it a challenging business. Yet, reliance on a single foreign supplier can be risky, given geopolitical concerns and supply chain vulnerabilities. To address this, the US is taking steps to boost domestic manufacturing and reduce reliance on imports. The 2022 Inflation Reduction Act offers generous tax credits for US-made wafers, cells, and modules, along with direct funding for rooftop and community solar projects. These measures aim to position the US competitively in the growing solar market. As we approach COP28 in Dubai, the importance of solar energy is set to rise on the global agenda. While China has a head start, the best-case scenario for the US involves supporting domestic manufacturing and maintaining control over its supply chains, even if it means paying a slightly higher price for solar technology. To compete successfully, the US needs commitment and long-term dedication. The lesson learned from the past decade is clear: the US must be as committed as China in its pursuit of renewable energy. The race for solar dominance is far from over, and the US has the potential to make significant strides in this crucial industry.